The Westchester, New York Master's Electrician examination utilizes the 2020 National Electrical Code, often abbreviated as NEC. Therefore, a comprehensive understanding of this specific edition is paramount for anyone seeking to pass the exam and obtain their Master Electrician license in Westchester County. This means focusing study efforts on the regulations, requirements, and updates presented within the 2020 NEC document. The National Electrical Code is a widely adopted standard for the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment in the United States. It is published by the National Fire Protection Association, also known as the NFPA. The NEC undergoes revisions and updates every 3 years to incorporate new technologies, address emerging safety concerns, and refine existing requirements based on field experience and industry best practices. These periodic updates are essential to maintain the code's relevance and effectiveness in ensuring electrical safety. Knowing which code cycle your local jurisdiction has adopted is important for several reasons. Firstly, it ensures that electrical installations comply with the current safety standards recognized and enforced in that area. Secondly, it provides a consistent framework for electrical contractors, inspectors, and engineers to follow, minimizing confusion and promoting uniformity in electrical work. Thirdly, it helps to prevent electrical hazards such as fires, shocks, and equipment failures, which can result from outdated or non-compliant installations. For the Westchester, New York Master's Electrician exam, the focus is specifically on the 2020 NEC. This means that all exam questions and scenarios will be based on the rules and regulations outlined in this particular edition. Candidates must demonstrate a thorough understanding of the code's articles, tables, and definitions. This includes knowledge of general wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding and bonding, equipment installation, special occupancies, and other relevant topics covered in the 2020 NEC. Preparing for the exam requires a strategic approach. Firstly, obtain a copy of the 2020 National Electrical Code. This is the primary resource for your studies. Secondly, familiarize yourself with the code structure and organization. The NEC is divided into chapters, articles, parts, and sections, each addressing specific aspects of electrical installations. Understanding this structure will help you quickly locate the information you need. Thirdly, read and study the code thoroughly. Pay close attention to the definitions, requirements, and exceptions outlined in each section. Fourthly, practice applying the code to real-world scenarios. Work through sample calculations, design electrical systems, and troubleshoot common problems. This will help you develop your problem-solving skills and reinforce your understanding of the code. Fifthly, consider taking a preparatory course or workshop. These courses are designed to help candidates review the key concepts of the 2020 NEC and prepare for the exam format. They often include practice exams, study guides, and expert instruction. Some specific areas of the 2020 NEC to focus on include Article 100, which contains definitions of terms used throughout the code, Article 110, which covers general requirements for electrical installations, Chapter 2, which addresses wiring and protection, Chapter 3, which covers wiring methods and materials, Chapter 4, which covers equipment for general use, Chapter 5, which covers special occupancies, Chapter 6, which covers special equipment, Chapter 7, which covers special conditions, and Chapter 8, which covers communication systems. Within these chapters, there are many important articles and sections that candidates should be familiar with. Some examples include Article 210 on branch circuits, Article 215 on feeders, Article 220 on branch circuit, feeder, and service calculations, Article 230 on services, Article 250 on grounding and bonding, Article 300 on wiring methods, Article 310 on conductors for general wiring, Article 314 on junction boxes, pull boxes, and handhole enclosures, Article 400 on flexible cords and cables, Article 404 on switches, Article 406 on receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs, Article 408 on switchboards and panel boards, Article 430 on motors, motor circuits, and controllers, Article 440 on air conditioning and refrigerating equipment, Article 450 on transformers, Article 500 on hazardous locations, and Article 517 on healthcare facilities. In addition to studying the code itself, it is also helpful to review relevant industry standards and best practices. These resources can provide additional insights into the intent and application of the code requirements. They can also help you stay up to date on the latest technologies and trends in the electrical industry. Some examples of relevant industry standards include those published by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, abbreviated as IEE, the National Electrical Manufacturers Association, abbreviated as NEMA, and Underwriters Laboratories, abbreviated as UL. These organizations develop standards for electrical equipment, wiring methods, and installation practices. Another important aspect of preparing for the exam is to familiarize yourself with the exam format. The Westchester, New York, Masters Electrician exam is typically a written exam that consists of multiple choice questions. The questions cover a wide range of topics from the 2020 NEC as well as general electrical knowledge. Candidates are typically given a set amount of time to complete the exam, so it is important to manage your time effectively. Practice exams are a valuable tool for preparing for the exam. They allow you to simulate the exam environment and identify areas where you need to improve. They also help you develop your test-taking strategies and build your confidence. When taking practice exams, be sure to review your answers carefully and understand why you got each question right or wrong. This will help you learn from your mistakes and improve your performance on the actual exam. It is also important to stay up to date on any changes or updates to the exam format. The Westchester County Department of Buildings may periodically revise the exam content or procedures. Be sure to check their website or contact them directly for the latest information. Passing the Westchester, New York, Masters Electrician exam requires a significant investment of time and effort. However, with proper preparation and a thorough understanding of the 2020 NEC, you can increase your chances of success. Remember to focus on the key concepts, practice applying the code to real-world scenarios, and familiarize yourself with the exam format. By following these steps, you can demonstrate your knowledge and skills and earn your Master Electrician license in Westchester County. Furthermore, it is crucial to understand the fundamental electrical principles that underpin the National Electrical Code. These principles include Ohm's law, which describes the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance, and Kirchhoff's laws, which provide a framework for analyzing electrical circuits. A solid grasp of these concepts will enable you to better understand the code requirements and apply them effectively in the field. Ohm's law states that the current through a conductor between 2 points is directly proportional to the voltage across the 2 points. This relationship is expressed by the equation voltage equals current times resistance, or volts equals amps times ohms. Understanding Ohm's law is essential for calculating voltage drops, determining conductor sizes, and troubleshooting electrical circuits. Kirchhoff's current law states that the total current entering a junction or node in an electrical circuit is equal to the total current leaving the junction. This law is based on the principle of conservation of charge. Kirchhoff's voltage law states that the sum of the voltages around any closed loop in an electrical circuit is equal to zero. This law is based on the principle of conservation of energy. In addition to understanding these fundamental principles, it is also important to be familiar with the different types of electrical equipment and systems. This includes knowledge of transformers, motors, generators, switchgear, and control systems. Each type of equipment has its own unique characteristics and requirements, which are addressed in the National Electrical Code. For example, Article 450 of the NEC covers the installation and protection of transformers. This article includes requirements for overcurrent protection, grounding, and ventilation. Article 430 of the NEC covers the installation and protection of motors, motor circuits, and controllers. This article includes requirements for motor overload protection, short circuit protection, and disconnecting means. Furthermore, understanding the different types of wiring methods is crucial for compliance with the National Electrical Code. The NEC recognizes a variety of wiring methods, each with its own advantages and limitations. Some common examples include rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, flexible metal conduit, armored cable, non-metallic sheath cable, and underground feeder and branch circuit cable. The selection of the appropriate wiring method depends on factors such as the environment, the voltage level, and the type of occupancy. For example, rigid metal conduit is often used in harsh environments where physical protection is required. Non-metallic sheath cable is commonly used in residential wiring. In addition to these general wiring methods, the NEC also addresses specific requirements for wiring in special occupancies. These occupancies include hazardous locations, healthcare facilities, and places of assembly. The requirements for wiring in these occupancies are more stringent than those for general occupancies, due to the increased risk of fire or electrical shock. For example, Article 500 of the NEC covers the requirements for wiring in hazardous locations. These locations are classified based on the type of flammable or explosive substances that are present. The wiring methods and equipment used in hazardous locations must be specifically designed and approved for use in those environments. Article 517 of the NEC covers the requirements for wiring in healthcare facilities. These facilities include hospitals, nursing homes, and clinics. The wiring in healthcare facilities must be designed to minimize the risk of electrical shock to patients and staff. This includes requirements for isolated power systems, ground fault protection, and redundant power sources. When preparing for the Westchester, New York Master's Electrician exam, it is also important to understand the role of the electrical inspector. The electrical inspector is responsible for enforcing the National Electrical Code and ensuring that electrical installations are safe and compliant. The inspector will typically review the plans for an electrical installation, conduct site inspections, and issue permits and approvals. It is important to cooperate with the electrical inspector and address any concerns or violations that they identify. The inspector's goal is to ensure the safety of the electrical installation and protect the public from electrical hazards. In addition to the National Electrical Code, there may also be local amendments or regulations that apply in Westchester County. These amendments may be adopted by the local government to address specific needs or concerns in the area. It is important to be aware of any local amendments that are in effect and to comply with them in addition to the National Electrical Code. You can typically find information about local amendments on the website of the Westchester County Department of Buildings or by contacting the department directly. Continuing education is also essential for master electricians. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and regulations being introduced on a regular basis. Master electricians must stay up to date on these changes in order to provide safe and effective electrical services. Continuing education courses are available from a variety of sources, including trade associations, community colleges, and online training providers. These courses cover a wide range of topics, including code updates, new technologies, and best practices. By investing in continuing education, master electricians can enhance their knowledge and skills and maintain their professional competence. In summary, the Westchester, New York Master's Electrician exam requires a comprehensive understanding of the 2020 National Electrical Code, fundamental electrical principles, different types of electrical equipment and systems, wiring methods, special occupancies, the role of the electrical inspector, local amendments, and the importance of continuing education. By dedicating yourself to thorough preparation and continuous learning, you can increase your chances of success and establish a rewarding career as a master electrician in Westchester County. Lastly, remember that electrical safety is paramount. Always follow safe work practices and use appropriate personal protective equipment when working with electricity. If you are unsure about any aspect of an electrical installation, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer.